My shop! Half of my shop is empty. My fabrics, my perfumes, my new bags, groceries, all gone. The villagers rushed to her shop. Shelves that used to shine with new goods were now empty, completely cleared out. But not everything was missing. In a little town where everyone loved Christmas, December always felt like a blessing from the sky. Every evening, the streets glowed with tiny blinking lights tied carefully to old electric poles. Children dragged their slippers through the red sand, drawing patterns that only made sense to them, humming Christmas songs they barely knew the lyrics to. And in that cheerful, story-filled town lived a curious girl named Rhoda. Rhoda wasn't like the other children who cared only about gifts and rice. Her family didn't always afford those things anyway. What she loved, what she waited for all year were the stories. Every Christmas Eve, the elders gathered all the children under the big mango tree. They would clap once, just once, and say, "Come closer, children. Let us tell you how the world used to be." The children would shuffle forward, eyes wide. Even grown men secretly lingered nearby, pretending they were passing by, just to hear a piece of the magic. Rhoda soaked in every word. This year, however, something felt different. No one knew what was coming, but everyone felt it. At school, the headmaster, who was always serious and always sweating, pushed his glasses up, cleared his throat and announced, "Children, this year we will have a Father Christmas, a real one with a red coat, big belly, beard, boots, everything." The children exploded with joy. Even Rhoda's little brother Alex, who had been sick for months and rarely spoke, managed a small smile. Rhoda squeezed his hand gently. "Alex, I told you, this Christmas will be special." But she didn't know how special. Because that Saturday, just as the sun began to sink behind the palm trees, Father Christmas arrived. He didn't come in a noisy way like the masquerades. He didn't ring a bell or call attention. Slow, gentle stride, carrying a big red bag slung over his shoulder. A bag that looked too full, too heavy, and too alive. The children screamed with excitement. But Rhoda didn't scream. She just stared at that bag because something inside it moved. And for the first time that Christmas, her heart whispered a question she could not understand. Who exactly is Father Christmas? And what is inside that bag? Father Christmas walked closer to the children. "Ho, ho, ho!" he laughed, his voice deep, almost too deep. "Merry Christmas, my children!" The children screamed with joy and rushed forward like a swarm of bees. Father Christmas dipped his hand into the red sack and handed out toys, plastic cars, skipping ropes, tiny talking dolls that squeaked when you pressed their bellies. Rhoda and her little brother Alex joined the line, excited but patient. But by the time the line reached them, the toys had finished. Rhoda felt a small sting in her chest. Her Christmas spirit dropped just a little. But Alex, her fragile, quiet brother, simply smiled from watching the other kids. So Rhoda swallowed her disappointment, squeezed his hand, and forced a smile too. Still, she watched Father Christmas closely. Something about the way he gripped that red sack bothered her. The sack didn't behave like a normal sack. It bulged, it shifted, it moved like something inside was adjusting itself or breathing. Rhoda's eyes narrowed. That night, the whole town went to bed happy. Children slept hugging their new toys. But just as the moon crossed the middle of the sky, trouble began. The next morning, shouts ripped through the quiet streets like an alarm.
My radio is missing! Who took my new wrapper?
Where is my husband's phone? Room carefully. He finally said, "Our things are safe. Looks like nothing touched us." But Rhoda noticed something else, something strange. Across the street lived the poorest family in town, the ones with the leaking roof and the broken door. Their children didn't go to school the previous day. They went there when Father Christmas handed out toys. Yet, now, a brand new radio was playing loudly in their compound, and their children were running around holding new toys, the exact same toys Father Christmas had given out at school. Rhoda froze. "How?" she whispered. That evening, the town square flooded with angry villagers. Everyone talked at the same time, waving hands and pointing fingers. Someone came at night. It must be a stranger. There is a thief among us. But Rhoda sat quietly at the corner, watching. Her mind wasn't on the shouting villagers or the missing radios. Something else bothered her. The timing. Everything had been peaceful in the village until Father Christmas arrived. The very night he came, the stealing started. Rhoda couldn't shake that thought away. When night came, the villagers locked their doors. Men sat outside with lanterns. Women hid their wrappers under the bed. Fathers whispered to their families to be careful. Before dawn, the thief struck again. The scream started early, long before the rooster crowed.
Who stole my goat? No!
The chief cried, running into the street. The same rich chief who forced villagers to bring him goats every week just so he'd allow them fetch water from his borehole, the only borehole in the entire village. Another woman shouted from across the village, "My whole pot of rice has disappeared. I cooked it last night. How can food vanish?" A third one joined, "My husband's new shoes are missing. He has not even worn them yet." But the loudest, most frightening shout came from Mama B, the richest store owner in the village, the woman who overpriced her goods so much that the poor villagers struggled every day just to buy from her.
My shop! Half of my shop is empty. My fabrics, my perfumes, my new bags, groceries, all gone. The villagers rushed to her shop. Shelves that used to shine with new goods were now empty, completely cleared out. But not everything was missing.